Happy Thanksgiving, guys. What's up? Welcome into a new episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And boy, it is a busy morning. It is a busy day. This is one of the best football betting days of the year. And celebrate all of these opportunities, we've got the biggest card I can remember for a day that is not a Sunday. Now, on Sundays, we normally pile up and we have, 3 to 4 prop bets, and we've got 3 or 4 different plays on a Sunday, okay? But because this is a mini Sunday with 3 games today, all standalone, all that run into each other, I have got a bet and a prop bet on each game, and I have a teaser to give you guys coming up here for the podcast today. Because the menu is a little bit stretched and because it's not a Sunday, the prop bets are going to be shrunk down to half-unit plays. We're going to bet to win a half a unit because I don't really want to get completely exposed here. And frankly, it's just, it's a Thursday. We have games on Friday. We have a huge college slate tomorrow. We have a huge college slate on Saturday. We have a huge slate on Sunday as well. So I don't want to get over my skis here and blow the week if we don't do well today. So normally I've been betting full units on the props. We're going to shrink them down to win a half a unit on the props coming up here for today, and then add a plus money 3-game NFL teaser, which is pretty cool. But before I give you the plays, let's tell you about our friends at Hard Rock. If you guys have not gone and taken advantage of the $5 bet offer, it is live. You can do it here during this holiday weekend. We all know today is about family, food, and football, and we're going to celebrate today with a bunch of plays. You can do that at Hard Rock Bet. $5 bet. If it hits, you not only get your winnings, but you also get $150 in bonus bets. Good offer there on a holiday Thursday, and the Hard Rock Stats Hub's available for all the trends, streaks, and stats if you guys want to check it out. Plus, this week on Hard Rock Bet, there are 3 50% profit boosts, one for each game here today on Thanksgiving. You can boost your same-game parlay, your SGP Max, and your bets will pay extra winnings. Also, new promos every day. So go and download the BettingPros. So go and download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit today. Okay. Let's start with the first game. Green Bay and Detroit. There's some really fascinating stats here about this game that I think you have to take into account. Now, one, the biggest stat everyone's going to jump on is the way that favorites have dominated here on Thanksgiving. Favorites have historically been very profitable. Since 2004, favorites are 40-20 against the spread. If you extend that to being straight up, it's 51-9 straight up here on Thanksgiving for favorites. Favorites of 7 points or more on Thanksgiving are 25-10 against the number. The Ravens will fit that coming up here at the end of the podcast. The Chiefs are the only team that's favored on the road. Road favors are 25-1 straight up. 25-1 straight up on Thanksgiving, 20-6 against the spread since 2004. Pretty impressive. But the Lions and the Cowboys, this is a while. It's been a bit. The Lions and the Cowboys have not combined to both cover on Thanksgiving on the same day since 2001, and they haven't gone 2-0 straight up, plus 2-0 against the number on Thanksgiving since 1994. So keep in mind, just from a trend perspective, there's some interesting things. Green Bay, under Matt LaFleur, is a dog for the first time this season. They faced the Eagles in the playoffs last year, lost. They were a dog. Under Matt LaFleur, Green Bay has gone 18-6-1 as a dog of 3 points or more. 14-4 ATS as a dog of more than 3 points, but they aren't more than 3 points. It's 2.5 today, 2.5 or 3, depending on the book. LaFleur is the only head coach in the Super Bowl era with a winning record as an underdog. So it is a little bit of a difficult game to handicap because, one, it's a divisional game. 2, both these teams need it. 3, it's Jared Goff at home. It's Detroit, who has been very profitable recently on Thanksgiving, okay? It's not that often that we see Detroit being on Thanksgiving, but when the Lions are backed, and they are being backed by the public today, the Lions have not done well when they've been backed by the public 12 times on Thanksgiving since 2005, they're 0-12 straight up. 0-12 straight up. 3-9 against the spread in those games. That's not what we want here as we're going to look to come in here. But Detroit, when they're favored since 2004, they're 5-1 straight up. And the number being 2.5, I got to go with the Dan Campbell trends. Under Dan Campbell, Detroit is 19-5-1 against the number in the game following a game which the Lions have failed to cover. That's the best ATS mark since he took over in 2021. He's only a little ahead of John Harbaugh, who is also in the same spot coming up this week. I am going to come in here, and I'm going to take the Lions here at home. I think the home favorite kicks in. It's a small price. I think the Lions put it together here. I'm not in love with this Packers team. I'm not going to lie. I love them early. I have not liked what I've seen late. This is a game I think the Packers are going to have a struggle with this. And look, I think you can bet the under. I think the under is live, but I can't do it with Detroit at home. Every time I've gone, I thought about betting the under, and I think the Lions and the under is a good play, but I think it could be the Lions and the over. It could be the Packers and the under. So I'm staying away from totals today because it's a funky day. It's a holiday. We've seen overs hit so consistently on Thanksgiving. We've seen it be a very profitable trend to bet totals, and I just don't really love the idea of betting totals today. I'm a little bit hesitant just as to how things are going to go. So instead, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to lay the 2.5 with the Lions at home. Follow the home team trend. Follow the favorite trend. Lions minus 2.5. But on the flip side, just in case I'm completely dead wrong about that, prop bet cheat sheet likes Josh Jacobs to go over his rushing and receiving prop. It's an 80% cover probability, a plus 39 EV expected value play, a 5-star rating, and it's projected to fly over the number that is currently being set at for Josh Jacobs. You can shop around here. 78.5 is pretty much the consensus. There's some exchanges that are at 77.5, but mostly it's 78.5. You can find that at Hard Rock Bet, at ESPN Bet, at BetMGM. You can find that at a bunch of different books where you have Josh Jacobs rushing and receiving prop over 78.5. And remember, take a look at the number here at minus 118. I'm only betting it to win a half a unit. Okay, you can bet it full unit if you want, but I'm only betting half a unit. I think Josh Jacobs is a big game here against this Lions defense, both catching and receiving. He is cleared to play. He is good to go. Josh Jacobs over 78.5 rushing and receiving yards at minus 118. That's a 0.6 unit play to win a half a unit coming back. Game number 2, it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs. There are some wild trends going into this game here because you've got a Chief team that Patrick Mahomes on short rest is 19-3 straight up in those games. Mahomes and the Chiefs have won 13 straight games dating back to 2021 when they're on short rest. The Cowboys, on the other hand, things have not gone well for them on Thanksgiving. They're 2-4 ATS over their last 6 games on Thanksgiving. They are 3-11 ATS over their last 14 Thanksgivings dating back to 2011. And 8-12 ATS on Thanksgiving since 2005. I already gave you the favorite trend, so this is not good. The Cowboys are 1-7 against the first half spread since 2017, and they're 2-13 in the first half on Thanksgiving since 2010. Indoors, Patrick Mahomes has been a killer, 14-2 straight up in his NFL career. He lost outright in the Super Bowl last year to the Eagles in New Orleans and lost to the Colts on the road back in 2022 as the only 2 games he has lost on the road. However, Dak Prescott has started 7 games on Thanksgiving. He's 4-3 straight up. Not great against the number, 2-5, but they're dogs. They're not normally dogs. That's the thing. The Cowboys are traditionally favored by the public, and traditionally they're laying points. They're not catching points. That's the big difference here. That's the hook that I find this game to be so fascinating because Dak Prescott, since 2022, has started 5 home games in Dallas early in the week, meaning Thursday or Friday. The Cowboys are 5-0 straight up in those games. I think the combination of the hook here at 3.5, the combination of the Cowboys at home on a short week after what their defense has done the last 2 weeks, and the fact that the Chiefs have a tough time winning close games, and the Chiefs have struggled in one-win games, in one-score games. I just think this is another opportunity for the Cowboys if their offense can score. Now, I don't think Mahomes and company are going to put up a huge number here today, okay? They're going to score, but not only they put 28 points. I think that's going to be the number here. 28 points is what the Cowboys need to get to. I see a lot of people betting the over, okay? I get it. Cowboys home games, their defense, they're not buying it. I've heard from multiple people that this is a mirage, that this Cowboys team is not this good. Okay, I'm going to back it. I've been backing the Cowboys all year. I've been higher on the Cowboys than most. I'm coming in taking the Cowboys at plus 3.5. I want the hook. You have to have the hook. Got to have the hook at 3.5. But the Cowboys, I think, will be live to win the game. I think this is going to be the game of the day. I think this is going to be an awesome game back and forth. It could be the last team has the football. It could even be going to overtime. Okay, I think this is going to be a war. Both these teams are absolutely desperate for this win. Like desperate for this win. And I think we're going to see an awesome football game coming up here between Dallas and the Chiefs. I'll take the points. Home dog on Thanksgiving. Yes. Cowboys plus 3.5. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Prop bet that I want to get into. Xavier Worthy, and this shouldn't stun anybody given what we've seen out of this secondary, but Xavier Worthy, prop bet cheat sheet, loves him from a rushing receiving prop to go over 45.5 rushing and receiving yards. 73% cover probability. It's a plus 37 expected value play. It's a 5-star play up against a Cowboys defense that has, well, let's be honest, given up a bunch of yards running and receiving for receivers. Last week against Indianapolis, 59 for Xavier Worthy. This number hasn't been hit except last week against Indianapolis. He hasn't done a great job with this. 25 yards receiving, 3 yards rushing against Denver, 23 yards receiving, 3 yards rushing against the Broncos. But he's expected to have a big weapon, a big day today for this offense. Prop bet cheat sheet, 5-star play. Let's go with it. Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs to have more than 45.5 rushing and receiving. He's off the injury report, in case you're curious. He's been cleared, so he should be good to go here for Patrick Mahomes at home in an expected high-scoring game with a lot of possessions. Bet number 3 to the late game, we go with the return of Joe Burrow for the Bengals. Bengal fans are so happy to see their quarterback coming back. And look, that's a tremendous opportunity for this team to get their quarterback back in action, to actually have him be with Chase Brown, but with Jamar Chase and with T. Higgins. But T. Higgins is out. Concussion for him. So that means a big usage for Jamar Chase. But I think this is going to be a big run game. I don't think the team wants to put Joe Burrow back there in his first game since the turf toe injury. Do you want him throwing the ball a ton? That's why I don't like this game. I've seen a lot of people take the points with the Bengals. Their year is over. They're not playing for anything. They're playing for next year. Now, they want to play spoiler, but do you want to risk Joe Burrow? So I'm more, I think this is going to be a conservative game plan for the Bengals. I think they're going to be cautious here, and this lets this Ravens defense go to work. I think it lets the offense go to work here. This number, I mean, I've seen a lot of people, I wouldn't take the Bengals here. This is the Survivor special for everybody who's still alive in the Circa Survivor. Everyone's who's having to make a play. You know, the Ravens have beaten the Bengals 4 straight times. They're 5-1 ATS over the last 6 games. In the Ravens and Bengals last 9 meetings since 2021, the over is 8-1. So that may be one way of looking at this game. You want to bet the over, but you know, Joe Burrow has not done well against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is 6-1 straight up and 4-3 against the spread. And that's with a healthy Joe Burrow, not an unhealthy Joe Burrow. Ravens have won 5 games in a row here. You know, they opened up the year, they lost 4 straight and 1-5, and they've turned it around. Since 1990, according to the Action Network, teams that are on a 5+ game straight up winning streak with a percentage that's below 5.5 are just 7-12 straight up and 6-12-1 against the spread. But this is a unique year for the Baltimore Ravens. Favorites in the night game on Thanksgiving is 14-4 ATS since the holiday was adopted for the 3-game format back in 2006. I think that's the best trend. That's the best number here. I'll lay it with the Ravens. I think we're going to see pretty much a I don't want to say a blowout, but I like Baltimore to win and cover. Baltimore -7 for 1.1 units. And along those same lines, prop bet cheat sheet likes this, and I'm going to follow the fact that Joe Burrow's not going to be asked to throw the ball 38 times today. You can find 37.5 at a variety of books at Hard Rock Bet and BetMGM. I just don't think they're going to put him back there that many times. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's safe to do that with this injury. It's a turf toe. I mean, you can re-injure this thing pretty easily, and that derails everything about having him come back. So I'm going to come in and take a Joe Burrow under 37.5 passing attempts today at -115. Again, we're betting that to win just a half a unit. And the teaser today is different than normal. It's a 3-leg, 7-point teaser. It's plus money. It involves all 3 teams, all 3 games, and we're going to take a 7-point number, and we're going to tease the Packers, okay, up to 10, find the 3, tease it to 10, Packers plus 10, take the Cowboys from 3.5 and tease them up to 10.5. One-score games, that's what the Chiefs play. So either side, Cowboys win or Chiefs win, but they don't win by more than 10. Chiefs plus 10.5, and take the Ravens from 7 down to a pick, and the Ravens win the game. You can do a 6-point teaser, but I want and get better prices. But when it gets to 9, I'm a little bit hesitant about the Lions and the Packers. I'm going to be honest, okay? 9 worries me a little bit. I want 10. I want that 10, and since we're doing 3 legs, we can be a little bit greedy on this and take it to plus 10, and it's plus 120. So you can play around with this if you want. There's no long teaser. There's no like formulaic type of breakdown for this for me. This is just I want 10 for the Packers on the road against the Lions so they don't get shredded, and it's plus money. So it's just a 1-unit play at plus 120 where you have action, multiple bets going, and I'm kind of thread the needle a bit as well. Lay the 2.5 with the Lions, take the Packers up to 10 and have the game fall 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range. And that's why I think it's possible as long as the Lions if the Lions blow out the Packers, we're covered with the Lions -2.5. So we're covered there. It's a 1-unit play. It's -110. So it's a little bit of because I don't fully know what's going to happen with that Packers-Lions game. Let's have it be a Packers win by 7, but by a Lions win by 7. That would be perfect if that were to happen. And then we go to the Cowboy game, and if it all rolls to the Ravens, and then if you have, if the Cowboys cover the 10.5 and the Packers cover 10, it's much similar to what happened yesterday where we went 2-2. And if you guys remember, I didn't put that slide up. I'm sorry about that, but Tennessee lost like I thought they could to Kansas, right? I said go ahead and get involved with Kansas, so you should have been able to hedge off that because Vandy, Iowa State, and Houston all won, so you should be able to hedge off of that. Andrew Nemhart came in. The over 1.5 goals came in for Vegas and Ottawa. Pistons went down. My Celtics snapped the streak, so it was 2-2 down 0.1. It was like a nothing day, so it was a complete wash of a day yesterday. But very similarly, if we're rolling all the way to the night game and we cover the first 2 legs of the teaser and we go into the Ravens with a pick, if at any point, the number gets to be completely ridiculous and it's, the Ravens are up big, up by 10, 14 points at one point, well, then you can come in potentially and bet the Bengals to guarantee yourself profit to make sure you don't lose in case there's a crazy comeback. So you should be able to do something and work off that number. If we get to the end and it's just a money line play on the Ravens, if there's ever an issue, the game is tight late, if it goes to overtime, whatever it might be, you should be able to play off of it. So much similar to yesterday, if you played that parlay, this is a teaser parlay. If you have a chance to play off of it, pay attention. And if you get the first 2 legs, know you've got that night game in order to play off of it. So big card for us here today on a Thanksgiving holiday. Recapping, Lions -2.5, full unit play. Josh Jacobs over 78.5 rushing receiving yards, half unit play. Cowboys plus 3.5, full unit play. Xavier Worthy over 45.5 rushing receiving yards, half unit play. Ravens laying 7, full unit play. Joe Burrow under 37.5 passing attempts, half unit play. The teaser is Packers 7-point teaser of the Packers plus 10, Cowboys plus 10.5, and the Ravens on the money line. It's a plus 120 bet. You can tease around with that. Again, I want 10 for that Packers game. That's why I'm not doing a 6-point teaser. I'm doing a 10-point teaser because I want that plus 10. As always, when it comes to those teasers, check your house rules. Do not be betting on a book that causes you to lose a teaser if you push, okay? Check the house rules. You do not want to lose that plus 10. If the Lions win by 10 and that bet becomes a loser, do not bet that there, okay? Just don't bet it. It has to be a push if it falls at 10, and that would either change the bet to be a two-leg teaser or void the entire bet. Either way is fine, but having it be a loser at plus 10, that's the problem. That's what we don't want to get into. My name is Matt Perrault. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're back tomorrow for a Black Friday. Another day of big football, college and pro. Huge day tomorrow, huge day today. Enjoy the day with your family. We're back tomorrow, but as always, even on holidays, wherever you guys get your podcasts, it is the Daily Juice.